Welcome back to Cosmoholics Anonymous. I am your favorite mother of three, bougie vintage, and today's video is all about Love is Blind. I just washed my hair, so y'all are getting messy bun realness. Okay, I was like, I'm not about to put no products in this. I'm just gonna let it rock how it is. So, messy bun it is. But the makeup is it. Now, if you want to watch me do the makeup, well, you're gonna have to join my membership, okay? Because that was a members only video, but that's neither here nor there. Let's talk Love is Blind. If you're unfamiliar with the show Love is Blind is pretty much where strangers get to starting relationships, but they're in pods and they cannot see each other, they can only hear each other. And so they're put in these pods and they pretty much fall in love without ever seeing each other. And then after a couple of weeks, the men have to propose to the women. Now, I've seen it on, I think, Brazil, where the woman proposed to the man. It was a hot mess, girl. That was crazy. But we're not going to talk about Brazil right now. We're talking about the American version of the show. The men propose to the women after a few weeks. They meet if they decide to get engaged. So if they decide to get engaged, man proposes, woman says yes. They end up getting to see each other for the first time in person once they are engaged. Then what happens after that is they go back to their separate locations, and then there is like this honeymoon phase that happens, or sorry, a pre-honeymoon, because they're not married just yet. So they end up going on a vacation with each other and the other couples that also make it out of the pod. Once everybody is matched up, start to mingle with each other and get to know each other as couple. And so you could have possibly been dating somebody that was in the pod, but you end up engaged to somebody else, and then that person had more than one connection, so they proposed to the other person and yada yada yada. So it is very messy, but then you will get to see the other person that you were talking to while you were in the pod. And then to make it even messier, which I cannot wait for pretty much tonight's episode, once that happens, then you meet the other people that you were probably talking to that you never got to see. So all the single people that never got engaged, you get to meet them and see, do they look better or worse than the person that I chose? Okay, and so it's very, very messy. I think it's great content, but I feel like on these shows, season 1 is always going to be the best example of how the experiment works. So season 1, obviously, we got Cameron and Lauren out of that season. I personally am not like one of their fans. I'm not a fan of Cameron and Lauren's relationship. I don't really follow them on social media. I don't really know much about them right now, but the last time I checked, they still don't have kids or anything like that. I feel like they push their relationship to work, or the pressure of trying to make their relationship work because there's so many eyes looking at them is probably what's, making the relationship work, which I don't know if you would say that's a good thing or bad thing, but I'm talking out the side of my neck because, like I said, I don't follow them. I don't keep up with them. I just never really liked, I don't know, I just wasn't really feeling them from the jump. Like, I'm not falling for the propaganda, okay? That's neither here nor there, though, okay? I wish them all the love and success and all those things, okay? I want them to be happy, but I just ain't buying it. Now, that was season 1. Okay, and so season 1 proved the experiment works to an extent, but season 2, 3, 4, and 5 proved otherwise. I think when you have a show like this, what ends up happening is people start flocking in and auditioning for the show because they want their big break. They want to be on TV. They want success. They think they're going to have a Lauren and Cameron situation, and it's just not going down like that. Pretty much, you are always going to have problematic people signing up for these shows. They get past the screening process because I think the producers are messy and want certain people to get past, because when you watch the show and you see people that are borderlining narcissism or using manipulation tactics or just problematic behavior, red flags, when you see them on the show exhibiting it like out the gate, even in their introductions, like when they're in like their green room or their confessional, you're just like, you're not gonna tell me that the producers didn't know that adding this person to the show would make drama happen, because people always tell them themselves. So I think after a while, after season 1, I don't think that the show really gives the same effect that it did, back then. Season 1, I think we actually did tune in to see if the experiment works. Season 2 to 6 now is just like, what drama is this gonna bring? Because to me, the show has changed, not drastically, but it's changed enough to notice the difference. Or Netflix and the show's, I believe, production company, whoever, was being sued by contestants of the show because of certain situations that happened on previous seasons. I don't know if they settled out of court or not. I'm going to try to find article and the YouTube videos about it and put it in my description box so you can see, because if you never heard of this and this is your first time you're hearing of it, then you're like, what? They got sued? Yes, girl. Because shows like these and like Bad Girls Club, any type of reality show with contestants, random American citizens, Canadian citizens, whoever signs up for this show, those shows always have a lot of stuff going on in the background that we don't know about. Now, because I was on the VJ search, I told you guys about certain things that happen, you know, how a show is filmed. I got to see it from the inside looking out, how things could be manipulated to look a certain way or edited to be this or that, right? And how producers will lie to you and tell you that you're filming for something when you're really filming for their agenda, okay? So like an example of that for me was they told me I was filming a damn Garnier commercial, okay? So they're telling me what to do and what to say, to look in the mirror, act like I'm getting ready for this, that, and the third, and I'm thinking I'm gonna be in a damn Garnier commercial, okay? Garnier Fructis, okay? I thought I was gonna be in a Garnier commercial. No, they used it as a segue to the drama that happened with my stolen lipstick. And I was just like, huh? When I saw the actual episode air, I was like, they told me I was filming for Garnier. Like, I was actually pissed. But that's neither here nor there. So they use a lot of manipulation tactics when filming a reality show. And so it's always important to keep that in mind before you jump the gun and get to judging the contestants on the show. However, there are definitely people on the show that you just know are not there with pure intentions. And 9 times out of 10, it's the men that we see signing up for these shows that don't have pure intentions. Now, I am an avid watcher of shows that have to do with love because I love love. And so I watch a lot of Married at First Sight. To me, that's a better experiment than this one. I watch Love is Blind. I started watching Love on the Spectrum. I freaking love that show. And I watched The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, which, I mean, I don't watch The Bachelor and The Bachelorette religiously, but if there is a black contestant, I be watching. And so the last season for Bachelorette was Charity, and she's black. Joey, who is white, ended up being the Bachelor, but he was one of the contestants on her show, and so I've been watching his season as well. If it's a love show, baby, I'ma tune in, okay? I want to see people fall in love. Now, Love is Blind. Just like any other reality show, you're gonna have people that you're like rooting for, and then you're gonna have people that you're like, get them off of my screen immediately. Last season on Love is Blind, there was a guy named Uche on there, and girl, it was a Uchi Gucci mess, okay? It was a mess, okay? That last season was just problematic, and so you could see the descent, okay? The show went from being up here to down here. The other issue that most of us are having a problem with is the fact that Nick Lachey and his wife Vanessa Lachey are hosting still, and we do not want them to host. We want other people hosting the show. I am available, actually I'm not available, but somebody's available to host the show. Somebody's got to be available to host this damn show, girl. Call Nene Leakes, girl. Call somebody. Have them host a damn show, because we do not want to see Nick Lachey or Vanessa Lachey. Y'all are executive producers. It's giving me Shawnee on Basketball Wives. Like, we don't want to see you, ma'am. We don't want to see you. We don't want to see Nick, and we don't want to see Vanessa. We love you for bringing the show forth. I wasn't really a fan of The Ultimatum. I mean, I watched it just to see what it was all about, but like, okay, it wasn't hitting the same as Love is Blind. And so here we are on season 6 of Love is Blind, and the contestants, I don't think I have hope for any of the couples. So let's get into the people and some of the drama that happened on the show, because girl, I'm gonna let you my opinion, okay? Now, typically they drop 4 episodes every week, but this time, because of all the drama, they dropped us 6 episodes. So I actually had a watch party with my members, and a bunch of us sat in there on a Zoom call and watched the show on our own respective televisions. And then after it ended, you know, we got to chit-chatting about it. I think the couple that I rooted for the most out of Love is Blind seasons was Brett and Tev. They are my favorite couple, top to bottom, hands down. I freaking live for them. The only thing I was kind of weary about was the fact that like Tiff would call Brett bougie and stuff. And you know, Brett kind of scared me. I feel like he might be a loose cannon. I don't know. Like I feel like he has this temper there because if you remember when she fell asleep on him, like he was just like done. Like he did a lot. I thought he was a little bit too damn emotional that day. But that's neither here nor there. I was still rooting for them, and I was just like, I love that he is like self-made. I love that he's just like Nike freaking genius. Like he's established. This is an established black man with an established black woman. Like it was everything. Okay, so I'm always root for them top to bottom, hands down. They're my favorite couple that's ever come off of this show. Just like on Married at First Sight, my favorite couple that ever came out of there was Amani and what the man name again? He's so cute. Little short man. Y'all tell me in the comments what his name is, but they are on like their second kid, I think, right now. I think she's pregnant or just had another baby. You know, the success of Married at First Sight is to me greater than the success rates for Love is Blind. To me, some of the people were memorable and some of them were not. My biggest issue with this show is that they don't showcase all the pod action. Like there's people that I wanted to keep an eye on and I didn't get to see them in the pods at all, and I'm just like, what's the point of this? So they pretty much handpick, or they pretty much only show us the people that they're going to be showcasing, or the people that kind of make it out of the pods, when there's so many contestants that they could be showing, and you know, good conversation that they could be showing us. Because what I've heard in the past as well is that these people have actually fallen in love on the show and got engaged and got married, and it never aired, which I think is crazy, because the whole point of the show is to see or prove if love is truly blind. And there's people making it, people that are successful, but we never even learn about them because they're not bringing drama or whatever the case may be, you know. One of the people that I really wanted to see more of that we didn't get to see at all was Alejandra. I don't know if she made it out of the pods with anybody or not, but I really wanted to see her in there because I thought she was gorgeous, and you know, I thought she was gonna fall in love on the damn show, but we will never know. AD, girl, AD, from the time I saw her in the first episode, I'm like, she went to watch. And then they showed her body, girl. I said, whoa, she's a full package, top to bottom, okay? But once we got her into the pods and we saw which men she was talking to, we were kind of taken aback, because it's just like, you're really finding interest in that man? And granted, she don't see what we're seeing at home, right? She doesn't get to see or hear the other conversation that the men she's talking to are having with other women. But we get to see that. So we know before she knows if somebody's being genuine or not. And so we're at home like screaming at our TVs like, girl, no, don't do it, because this man is giving serial killer, right? And so like AD, to me, she's just beautiful. Like every time she came in the pod wearing something, I was like, oh my gosh, she looks amazing. Like she's just beautiful top to bottom. The only thing I was mad at was her wig and her hair, chat. I needed a little bit more from her. But outside of that, she's just a 10, okay? Like the other girls were not seeing her in the body department, let me tell you, okay? And then her face card was not declining, and then like she was just cute, and her personality was bubbly and fun, and like, you know, we loved her. We saw a lot of her because she had multiple connections, and then her one connection with this crazy Caucasian man was so much turmoil because he also had a connection with somebody else, and he was pretty much telling them the exact same thing, but doing it in a very manipulative way. And like that whole situation was just a mess. He tried to get AD to leave with him, so he tried to manipulate her into leaving the show with him, I guess because he was trying to control the situation and also wanted to wreak havoc in her life for sure. And then they ended up breaking up because his other connection and AD, so a girl named Amber, what was her name? I think it was Amber. And they're both named Amber, which is the craziest thing. So AD's name is Amber Desiree, and then the other girl's name, I believe, was Amber as well. They pretty much ended up having a conversation about this guy that they were both talking to, that they were both having a connection with, and realized, oh hell no. And so the other girl, the white girl, she ends up leaving the show. And then the guy that they were talking to, his name was, I believe, Matthew. He ends up being really upset that the other Amber left because he also knew that AD had multiple connections as well. And so the guy, the black guy that AD was talking to, this is so much drama. The black guy that she was talking to, he got pissed off and he snapped on AD about the situation with Matthew because AD pretty much brought it to him, which I didn't understand why she did that anyway, because it was just like, girl, why are you talking to this man about your other connection right now? Like, please, like, be so for real right now, please. So he reacted in a horrible way, and I was like, yeah, no, because it's giving abusive, it's giving verbal abuse. We're not going for that. And also, he seemed a little sweet. A lot of the men did actually seem a little sweet, and so I'm looking at them like, okay, so that's neither here nor there. But the way he talked to AD was crazy. And then once her and Matt broke up, it's almost like her and the other guy ended up being together by default, right? But he was pissed because he could see Matthew in the pods, right? And so he was confused, like, how is this girl connecting with this man? He doesn't even talk. Pretty much like saying this man is a weirdo. You know, how is she connecting with him? What the hell? He must have two different personalities, because he don't have no personality back here in the damn in the group setting. What is he saying to her in the pods that's making her connect with him like this? Like, so it was a jealousy thing, but also points were definitely made because we could see the same thing that AD's other connection was seeing, which is the person that she ended up with, the black guy, right? So I can't remember his name right now. We're gonna get Clay. His name is Clay. Oh, girl. I'm gonna get into Clay in a minute, okay? I was rooting for AD, but I wanted her to stand up for herself and leave the show when Amber left the show. As much as I wanted to see her, I really wanted AD to leave. Neither one of her connections to me were it. And I didn't want her to end up with the guy that she ended up with, and so, child, that ship sailed too, because she ended up with him, but that's neither here nor there. Amy C, I don't think we saw her at all. Sarah Ann we saw, but she didn't end up too successful in the end. She didn't end up engaged. Laura, so we definitely get to see Laura, and Laura, I believe, was the other connection to Sarah Ann's connection. So Sarah Ann and Laura were talking to the same guy, but I believe the guy ended up ending it with Sarah Ann because he wanted to pursue Laura instead. And then him and Laura ended up engaged. So they make it out of the pods. What I noticed about Laura was that her man is super childish, and she is tending to be like very much annoyed with him. Like, she's very much like giving this mama energy, but she's also very childish. And we got to see that at like the dinner party or the beach party that they had, that she's childish. So then we have Jessica, who got her heart damn broken, okay? She was pissed, and this is the episode everybody's waiting for tonight, because the guy that she was talking to ended up breaking up with her, or pretty much just not keeping it real with her, okay, because he had another connection, and the other connection catfished him through the damn pods. How she managed to do this, I'm gonna tell you. So I couldn't wait to get to this part, girl. Well, but before I get into that, let me just tell y'all about Jessica. So Jessica, she was playing a game too, because Jessica came on to the show, and in her confessionals, and even to the girls, she was saying like she has a 9-year-old daughter, and she was saying like she is planning to tell whoever she's dating about her daughter, but she doesn't want to tell them right away. She wants to get them to like her first, or like be in love with her first, and then bring up her daughter. Her daughter is her world, she says, but she just doesn't want that to limit her chances. And when she said this, I said, you're smoking eggplant. Girl, you cannot do that. You cannot hide the fact that she was a mama. That's like a big deal. Like, you can't, that's manipulation. Girl, that's witchcraft. Girl, you cannot sit there and be like, I don't want to tell them right away that I'm a mom and I have a kid because yada yada. No, you don't get to do that. You don't get to make people fall in love with you first and then reveal certain things. This is not like I'm missing a pinky toe. This is literally, I have a whole child. Like, you don't get to do that, because what if somebody that's pursuing you doesn't want kids? What if somebody that's pursuing you wants your first kid to be their first kid? People are allowed to have those choices and those options. We don't get to manipulate people in this way, and I thought that that was not right. And so I was side-eyeing her from the very beginning. However, when she finally did tell her number one and pretty much only connection that she had a child, he didn't take it the way that she really wanted him to. But I was just thinking to myself, like, girl, you manipulated him. So what kind of reaction did she want from him? And then also, I was confused by her because when he told her or tried to explain to her what he meant by what he was saying, she still wasn't hearing him. She wasn't listening, and she was taking it the wrong way. So pretty much he was saying, like, he doesn't have a problem with it, but he still needs to process it, you know, because she's springing it on him now. She didn't come out the gate and was like, I'm Jessica, I'm 30 something or however old she is, and I have a 9-year-old daughter. Because that's your introduction, baby girl. Like, that should have been her introduction. You don't get to hide that, okay? Imagine me trying to hide my 3 kids. Imagine me being like, trying to make somebody fall in love with me and hiding the fact that I got 3 little children. Girl, no, it's not going down like that. That's the first thing you're gonna know. I got 3 kids. What you want? Okay, like, what do you want from me? Because that being said, because of women like her and women like myself, there needs to be a dating show for. Is there a dating show for single parents? If there's not, Netflix, call me, okay? I want to host. I want a show for single parents, okay? So dads and moms that have children already and are just trying to blend, okay? That's what we need. That's what we're missing, Netflix. Y'all are doing all these other shows, Too Hot to Handle, all of these. I love me some Too Hot to Handle. But Too Hot to Handle, all these freaky deaky shows, Love is Blind, Made at First Sight, all these damn shows. Y'all need to do the show for single parents, okay? Single parents need love too, and it's hard out here for a pimp, period, okay? Anyway, once this guy that Jessica was talking to broke up with her, she kept like communicating how she felt about him, and she was like being like really forthcoming with it. She's just like, listen, I'm in love with you, okay? That's what she was giving him, and he was just like, thank you for telling me. Like, he was not giving her the same energy, and it was confusing her, and she was getting pissed off about it because she's very direct, right? She just wasn't mincing her words, and I really liked that about her. He was stuck between a rock and a hard place, but that's because he was manipulated. And so the day that she came to him again, and she like wrote him like this love letter thing, and it was nice, and his response again wasn't really what she wanted. It upset her because she obviously knows he has this other connection, and she don't know what the hell they talking about. I know when she watches the show back, she gonna be cackling, okay? But she wasn't really sure, like, what the hell? She's kind of confused, like, why does it seem like their connection is just so damn good? And the thing about it is they can't see each other. So that means the conversation has to be either real great, or you had to have spilled the beans about what you look like, allegedly, and it's gonna make somebody lean more towards you than somebody else. When she pours her love out to this guy and he doesn't respond to it in the greatest way, you know, she's kind of upset about it. They get into this little tussle, a little argument. Then he ends up in the pods with his other connection. Now, to me, I think he just is one of those people that does not do conflict well and jump the gun, because when his connection came into the pod, her name was Chelsea. When she came in there, he was like, oh, I'm just so happy to be here with you. Girl, he thought he was Chris Dan Brown, okay? He thought he was Chris Dan Brown, okay? Talk about some with you. So he ends up, you know, telling her that he loves her. And I'm just like, the other girl was just up in the pods, and you told her you were unsure about what you were feeling for either party. Now y'all getting a little scuffle, and all of a sudden you know that you are in love with Chelsea. Girl, no, this is not how this works. So when I saw that, I'm like, what in the rebound is going on here? Either he already knew and he just didn't know how to say it to Jessica, or he made the decision based on the little argument that him and Jessica got into, which is silly, but people do this, right? Fast forward, comes back into the room with all the ladies, and she's talking to her friend, and she's whispering to her friend, and she tells her friend that the guy, what's his name, Timmy something, Jimmy told her, she's like, he said he loves me. Somebody else was over there, heard her, and ran over to Jessica and told Jessica, girl, trust me on this, he's not your man, that's not your man. I want you to leave on your own. I want you to leave. I don't want you to get broken up with. I want you to leave. Just take my word for it. He's not your man. I'm not going to tell you what he said, but you need to leave. And so she's over there crying her eyes out, okay? But she wants to get to the bottom of it. She's not taking the girl's word for it. She needed to take the girl's word for it, because one thing about it, you're not about to embarrass me on no damn national television now. You're not about to do it. Now, granted, don't sign up for this show if you know you, one, can't take rejection, and two, if you're superficial. See me, I'm a little bit superficial, girl. I'm gonna look at your face. Now, I need to see your face. I need to see your face before I decide I'm gonna marry you or get engaged to you. I ain't falling in love with no pod, okay? The only thing I'm gonna fall in love with through a pod is the smell of food, okay? Like, that's it. For me, I couldn't sign up for a show like this, nor could I sign up for a show like Married at First Sight, because if I tell the experts I want boom, 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 and the experts come and they say, well, he has boom, 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 but he also has this slight problem, like, I don't know, like something that I don't like, chat. I don't know. He also has no nose. He lost his nose in some freak accident. Like, I don't know. I'm just a person that's gonna be distracted by that. So, like, and I don't want somebody to feel some type of way because I'm always looking at the damn missing nose. So I know it's an extreme example. I'm just saying, like, that's just, I'm just saying. I would be like, what the hell? If I signed up for a show and they did that to me, I would be like, are you kidding me? Or if I'm like, I prefer tall men and they bring me short stacks that's the same height as me, I'll be like, I told y'all I like tall men. Why would you do that? Like, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to, I would never sign up for a show like this, because I know that I'm probably not going to get past the physical attraction issue. Some people can. I'm not one of those people. Now, don't sign up for this show if you know physical attraction is going to be an issue for you, because there could be somebody on the other side of the damn pod that's 600 damn pounds, and you decide you don't like anybody that weighs more than 125 pounds, but you was getting along with this person and you had no idea that they were 600 pounds, and now both of y'all are sat there like, what are we supposed to do now? You know, we're engaged. and the thing is, we see that happen a lot on this show, no matter which version of the show you're watching, because it happened in Brazil when the lady proposed to the man, and the man tried to act like he was all overwhelmed with the whole situation and said that she's too much woman for him, aka she's plus size and he's not attracted to her. That's all that was, okay? But it happens more often than not on these shows where people cannot get past the physical attraction part. But to me, it's just like, if you know you have a type, or if you know that you're just not the type of person that's going to be able to get past physical attraction, if you're not attracted to the person, why would you sign up for a show like this? Go be on Too Hot to Handle, something where you can see the person. Well, you don't know that you're signing up for Too Hot to Handle. Go be on a different love show where you can actually see the person. Don't sign up for Love is Blind or Married at First Sight. Girl. Jessica and Jimmy. Confrontations happen. But let me tell y'all why Jimmy decided to go with Chelsea instead of Jessica. And you probably already saw this online, or if you watched the show, you saw this. This is what happened. Chelsea and Jimmy were in their little pods and they were having a conversation. And Chelsea, I don't know if she realized that his connection with Jessica was super strong and she wanted to sway the odds into her favor. Well, she asked him, is there a celebrity that you get compared to often? And he's like, yeah. Meanwhile, I'm watching the show and I'm like, this boy looked like Chet damn Hanks. Okay, I'm looking at this boy, I'm like, this man looked like Chet damn Hanks. Now, Chet Hanks looks better than Jimmy, but I'm like, he looked like Chet Hanks. Like, I'm looking at him like, this man looks familiar for real. So when he said that there's a celebrity somebody always that he's always compared to, I was like thinking, oh, it must be him. But then as I looked a little harder, I said, no, it's not Chet, it's Forrest Gump. I said, it's Forrest Gump, which is Chet's poopa, but he looked like Forrest damn Gump. Chelsea was doing this because Chelsea wanted to let him know in a very subtle way who she is always compared to, because pretty much 99% of Caucasian males think that this lady is the hottest thing since sliced bread. And Megan Fox is pretty hot, but Chelsea don't look like no damn Megan Fox. Maybe Megan Fox evil twin, but she don't look like Megan Fox. And so she's laying on the floor in her pod, and she tells Jimmy that she looks like Megan Fox. And I am cackling. I'm in my house like screaming because I'm just like, Megan Fox, like Beyonce was my energy. Like Megan, what? Megan who? Can't be Megan Fox, girl. Maybe Megan from Fox Damn News, but not Megan Fox. I was like, no, she did not just tell this man that she's always getting compared to Megan Fox. She said every time she gets on an airplane, somebody says it to her. Like every time she goes flying, only when she goes flying somewhere, they say it to her on a damn airplane or at the airport. He is in his pod, excited, and he mumbles that he wants to marry her. And from that day, baby, his head was set on this lady because he was over there thinking he about to get Megan damn Fox. Wasn't no Megan Fox, okay? Maybe Megan Fox trap, but not Megan Fox. She don't look nothing like no damn Megan Fox. And so I'm gagged at this, right? This is before he has broken up with the girl, right? And so when I'm watching it, I'm like, he is in for the surprise and shock of his life if he chooses this girl and she comes out the damn thing, because nothing about her is giving Megan, except for, like she said, her light eyes and dark hair. And so the whole point of Love is Blind is that you're not supposed to share certain things like that, like your attributes. You're not supposed to share what you look like on any level, right? Obviously, people guess what you might look like. Like if I am talking to somebody black, I can hear there's a certain distinction in their voice, right? You're not really supposed to tell. Now, she wasn't supposed to do that, and she knew she wasn't supposed to do that, but she wanted him to pick her, so she lied to him. And keep in mind, this whole time, she has this whole other connection that's all about her, still about her, all gonna be about her, okay? This little man with a mullet. But I guess she felt she wanted to chase Jimmy, or she wanted to be chosen, because she wasn't Jimmy's only connection. She wanted, and she knew what Jessica looked like, and she obviously probably feeling insecure about Jessica, so she decided she gonna take Jessica man one way or another, even if she has to lie, steal, and manipulate to do it, okay? So I'm like, oh my god, this is not good, because now the only thing in this man's mind is gonna be that he talking to Megan Fox's twin over there, and that wasn't the case. And so it worked because he chose her. When they got engaged and they met for the first time, the episode was called She Lied to Me. He got in his confessional and, you know, he made a joke about it. But he said something that really stood out to me, which was, you know, she said she looked like Megan Fox. He doesn't agree with that statement. But to be fair, she said she doesn't see it, and that only her hair color and her eyes is what she thinks is the situation. You know, that's all she thinks that they have in common. But he didn't hear nothing. All he heard was Megan Fox, right? So once they finally meet, he realizes that she don't look like Megan Fox, and she realizes that he looked like a thumb or a big toe, something, child. Forrest Gump, girl. He looked little. He wasn't a looker. Okay, but they played it off well. She's not necessarily not attracted to him, but I think that the other guy is definitely more her steez. I think that they complement each other better. But in his confessional, Jimmy in his confessional, he said, I can work with that. I said, I can work with that? I can work with that? If my fiance, ever got on national damn television and said, I can work with that, oh baby, I'm gonna be embarrassed. So he was pretty much saying like, she doesn't look like Megan Fox, but I'm still attracted to her. I didn't believe not a word of it, Chad. I didn't believe a word of it. I think he's attracted to her for now, but when he see Jessica, he gonna choke. Just like she told him he gonna need to be grabbing for his damn EpiPen. She cussed him clean out. I said, yes, Jessica. She cussed him clean out. She said, you gonna need your EpiPen when you see me. Okay, because she knows what Chelsea looked like. Chelsea confused me. I almost called her damn Megan. She knows what Chelsea looked like. She knows what she looks like. And it's not even that Jessica is the hottest of the hot gals. Like, it's not like Jessica's super hot. You know, she's pretty. She's definitely more attractive than Chelsea. And I definitely think that he is going to choke. And he is going to need his damn EpiPen when he sees her this week. But, like, she's not the hottest thing since sliced bread. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that she is. But she's still pretty, okay? That was pretty much the biggest drama for up until that point. The next thing that happened was, you know, the couples that made it out the pods. So Clay ends up proposing to AD. Do you guys think that Clay is straight, or do you guys think that Clay is fluid, like in the closet? Yeah, what do you guys think about Clay? Because I am thinking that this man is in the closet or something. He proposed to AD. They make it out of the pods. And when they make it out of the pods and we see them, I had already had these reservations about Clay from his attitude, and he talked about his ego and all those things, but that's not what my reservations were. I had a feeling that he don't typically go for no dark-skinned girl, and AD is dark chocolate down. So I was worried about when he saw her, what his reaction was going to be. And then he said something that confirmed everything that I already knew. He just keeps saying, baby, my baby, my baby, my baby, all this baby, hey baby, oh my God, and he's kissing on her and all these things. He go over there in the damn confessional and he talks about how they're going to have some beautiful dark babies. Why not just beautiful babies? Why did he have to add the dark in there? And so when he said that, I was like, oh, he's not happy. That is a weird thing to say when it's two black people. Okay, why are we referencing the non-existent children's skin tone? And so obviously her skin is really rich. For him to go in his confessional and say that he's trying to convince himself that he's okay with this pick. He really he like Latina girls and light-skinned girls. Okay, that's what he give me, if he like girls at all. Okay, no shade. This is just what I was picking up on. I'm not buying it. I'm not. He could be in my room right now trying to sell me something, baby. I'm not buying it. Okay? He could give me the money to pay for the item, baby. I'm not buying it. I don't believe that he likes her. But he is lusting after that body because she is coming with the body. Okay, which in the pods, he definitely did state he liked a fat old booty. Okay, he was telling her what he liked, and she definitely got that. Okay, her body is everything. The other thing though, why they kind of caught up in like a little bit of a scuffle in the pods was because he tried to come at her and ask her pretty much to describe herself to him, which was not okay. And so she was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. And so, you know, that died down, and then they somehow brought their relationship back up to standing because all they had to focus on was each other since her other connection had left. But she was Clay's number one connection as far as I knew. I think too, AD does a little bit of code switching, or she'll like switch her voice a little bit. I don't think in Clay's head he could picture what she could even possibly look like because her voice is so, you know, high and sweet. And he probably doesn't equate that to a dark-skinned black woman. I don't know if they think that dark-skinned black women voices sound like damn Remy Ma, girl. I don't freaking know. But like, I don't think he could really gauge to see, you know, what she might look like based on her voice, the same way that her other connection, Matt, couldn't do it either. He knew though that she was ethnic because she had asked a certain question that kind of hinted at the fact that she was not Caucasian. And obviously when we are talking to a Caucasian person, we know their voices versus our voices, right? Most of the time. Sometimes there's some Caucasian people and they be sounding black as hell. Okay, and if you're behind a pod, you might not know or recognize that, oh, you're white. There's a show on YouTube that used to do that. Can you guess what race the person is based on their voice? And you're blindfolded. But yeah, that was pretty much what was happening with AD and Matt when he was still there. And then as Matt was leaving, he's like, I'm gonna go get Amber. Sir, I really hope Amber is running for the damn hills and not entertaining that damn man. After everybody came out the pods, they then went on their little vacation. I fully started out this like talking about certain people. I was gonna run through the entire cast and like tell you my thoughts and prayers on them, but like we don't have time for all that because they don't even show everybody. Okay, so there's not even a point to me talking about those people. It's better that I just talk about the couples that we're witnessing and blah blah blah. And this video is already long, but we're talking about 6 episodes of content. Another person that was in the pods that we did not get to see at all was Danielle, another black person. I'm always here trying to see the black people in the pods. Girl, we didn't see her at all. But then it was like they would show these people in like the room where all the girls are, but they wouldn't show their pod action. So it was just like, why are you guys even bothering? Why are you bothering? I think it's about 5 couples that make it out the pods. Obviously, we know Chelsea and Jimmy. And then Brittany and Kenneth ended up as a couple. And so Kenneth is a black man and Brittany is a white woman. And Kenneth says that he's never dated a white woman before. And so this is new to him. But I have to say, outside of the pods, their little vibe is really nice and I like it, but there's something that I'm noticing about him, which is that he's never touching her, which I think is strange. They're saying they're in love with each other, but like anytime you see them just hanging out, if you look at all the other couples, you'll see a man's hand on his woman's thigh. You'll see, you know, the woman sitting on his lap. You'll see some kind of lovey-dovey interaction with them. But he's also somebody that's giving me a little sweet, okay? And so I had this thought, and I'm like, I can't just be sat here thinking all the men are sweet. But I had this thought, and then he said that he was the praise and worship leader at the church. And I said, oh my God. I have my reservations. But I'm definitely rooting for them because I think that they have an awesome vibe. I just need him to like be a little bit more touchy-feely because he's very chivalrous in where he will, you know, pull out her chair for her or bring her a chair. He's very catering that way, and apparently they're catering to each other. So we love that for them. You know, I'm rooting for them. I really am. So then we have Jeremy and Laura, and Jeremy is the one that I said was like childish, but Laura's also childish. They both childish. Now, they got trouble in paradise because there was an issue with Laura telling Jeremy to do this bean dip thing where she told him to smack 80's boobs, which I don't know why she did this, and she was saying it was a joke. And so but Jeremy had told AD and Clay about it, and it got blown way out of proportion. But like, I mean, it was a weird thing to begin with, so I don't even know if we can say it got blown out of proportion. But like, pretty much Jeremy ends up really upset by the end of the party. He doesn't even stay to the end of the party. He ends up leaving, and he's like, he wants to go home, not like back to the hotel, but back home, girl. So him and Laura are skating on thin ice right now. I don't know what's gonna happen when they drop the next set of episodes, but like, Laura was pissed off that Jeremy even said anything about it, and she really wasn't taking accountability. And like, why would you tell a man to a woman, but also not even just that, somebody else's soon-to-be wife? Like, why would she tell him to do a bean dip to AD? And then when AD addresses Laura about it, like, AD, like, she's like, Laura, you told him about bean dip, like, whatever. Laura was like thinking it was sweet, and it really wasn't, and it was just, you know, they were just dragging it. And then Clay was gonna, I think, confront Laura, and it just was going real left. So Jeremy was super embarrassing. He was like, I'm out of here. Deuces. See you never. Something that I forgot to mention about the Matthew character, the crazy man. He wasn't even a red flag girl. He was sirens. Okay, the sirens were blaring. They were blasting. They were loud. They were bright red. And they were just spinning all over the place. But one thing I forgot to mention about him was he would say these weird things. Like, he would talk about America and the underdog and say weird comments like that. And there was one time when he said, I didn't sign up to the show to be a C-list celebrity or anything, but the tone that he said it in, I took it as that's exactly why he showed up, instead of him being truthful and saying like he's here to actually find love. I took it the way that he said it, which was it's like if I were to say, I don't just shop on Amazon every other day or anything like that. Like, yes, I do. Yes, I freaking do. I'm always on damn Amazon. Like, it was like if I said something like that. Like, it's not like I have 3 kids or anything. Like, that's the tone that it was in. And so when he said that, I'm like, so you are not here to find love. But she didn't take it that way. She took it as though he was saying like he signed up to the show for being serious and that he, is looking for love. That's not how I took it. And so he would say, like I said, he would say stuff about America and stuff. And I was like, sir, if you wanted to be a C-list celebrity, sign up for Big Damn Brother. But he probably couldn't get through the screening process on Damn Big Brother. Okay? Because I feel like the screening process on this show is not intense enough. The same thing goes for Married at First Sight. They are not doing their due diligence. And I think it's because they know the ratings and the show is better if there's drama. So they let a few narcs through. They let a few crazy people through. Because the other thing about Miss Chelsea, the girl cried in every single scene she was in. When I say every scene, I mean every scene. There was not a scene that this woman was not crying in. I said she needs a psych eval, number 1. Number 2, she needs to get off this damn show. Because why are you crying in every scene? Whether she was happy, sad, she was just crying. I said, this lady gotta be a cancer girl. And if she's not a cancer, I don't know what she is. But she's always freaking crying. Like, she was always crying. She could be talking about damn Red Lobster. She gonna be crying. Like, she was just crying for everything. No matter what, she was crying. And I said, this is annoying. There's no way that Jimmy really likes this lady with all this damn crying she's doing. Because I'm telling you, as a woman, I was annoyed. So I can only imagine what a man would be thinking when this woman is crying for every little thing. Every little thing she would cry for. But he was so damn stuck on Megan damn Fox that he ignored all them damn red flags that she was exhibiting at that very party. Once everybody saw AD, baby, they couldn't stop staring. They couldn't stop staring at that beautiful woman, okay? So they were staring at her. The women and the men were staring, child. And Jimmy says to Chelsea, who is clearly somebody that is insecure, that Clay's wife is stacked. He was saying, like, she has a banging body. He probably thought she was very pretty, too. And so he says it to his wife, not thinking anything of it. But I think in a situation where you are just meeting somebody for the first time and they are somehow your now fiance, I don't think that you really say something like that. However, if you're together with somebody for a long time and your husband says to you, look at that girl, you might engage him in the conversation like, yeah, she's hot. But when this is how y'all met and you have eyes for somebody else, it's problematic. And so Chelsea, instead of saying to him, why would you even say that? Instead of turning to him and being like, you know what, you're right, she does, but I don't even think you've complimented me. I don't think you've complimented my body. You haven't said I was beautiful. You haven't said anything of that nature to me, and you're going to sit here and tell me that this woman is stacked? She didn't call him out for it. Instead, what she did was call it out. And she starts telling AD what her husband said in front of everybody. So now everybody has heard the comment, and that pretty much opened the door for Jimmy and AD to start talking. And then Chelsea starts feeling some type of way because, I guess Jimmy ended up holding AD's hand, And from Chelsea's line of sight, she thought that he like spun her around and was like looking at her and admiring her and all these things. What they showed us on TV was not that he spun her around, but he did like hold her hand. So if a man holds your hand and is like looking you up and down, obviously to me it's no different than him spinning her around. Like he was looking at her like, check you out type of thing, like, you fine, girl. And so it is, to me, it's okay to pay a compliment. Obviously he's not gonna be trying to sleep with AD that night, you know, or ever. Maybe, I don't know, child, because some people was like, they could tell Jimmy likes black girls. So we don't know. The fact of the matter was that now, what's her name, Chelsea, was upset, and then she was over there boo-hooing to the other girls. Or no, she didn't cry that time. She was sat over there complaining to the other girls that Jimmy was all over AD. And the way AD looks at people when she's talking to them actually reminds me of myself, because I'm like eyes locked, and I think AD knows she's fine. And so when she's talking to people and she's engaging them, if you are insecure and you walk into the room and you see AD with her banging body talking to your man, you might feel some type of way too, unless you're secure with yourself and secure in your relationship. And Chelsea is neither one of those things. She's not secure with herself, and she's definitely not secure with Jimmy, because the way that she acquired Jimmy was through deception with the Megan Fox thing. And then the other thing about the insecurity there is that he was already talking to Jessica when that happened. You know, she forced his hand to make a decision. Or she didn't force his hand, but she manipulated his hand into choosing her. And so, of course, you're going to be insecure when he's talking to this fine black woman, because you had to manipulate to get him. So that's not AD's fault. However, Jimmy needs to relax. Okay, Jimmy needs to freaking relax, and he also can't read the room. Now, producers are messy. They're giving the people alcohol and limited food, allegedly. Okay, that's what they was suing about too. So because they're not properly nourished and they're always drinking and they're staying up late, they are exhausted and they're not thinking straight, and they're making bad decisions upon bad decisions. So because of that, the whole Jimmy, Chelsea, AD situation was another situation that ended up just snowballing into a whole mess. Jimmy and Chelsea made it back to their hotel. Chelsea's crying again, and she's confronting Jimmy about what he did with AD, and Jimmy's like, whoa, 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 girl, you're hallucinating, because I never spun that lady around, not one time. He was like, that never happened. And so she was like, just take accountability. Like, it was a mess, okay? And then they would like push each other away and then come together and kiss. And he's like, I love you, I love you, I love you. And it was a mess, girl. And I was like, is this Days of Our Lives? Like, what am I watching? I was very uncomfortable. Okay, Netflix, please, I'm begging. Please, do better research on your contestants. I and the general population, I don't want to see mentally ill people on dating shows. Okay, I don't. I'm not saying that anybody specifically is mentally ill, but I am pleading with you, Netflix, to get it the hell together, okay? The last couple that I'm interested to see how things turn out is a couple named Johnny and Amy. I have hope for them. However, Amy stated that she does not typically go for the Caucasian man. She likes her men a little darker, a little more ethnic. Okay, so, but she definitely loves him, but I guess it's taking her a little bit of time, like with the physical attraction thing. I think she's attracted to him, but she's not like, hubba hubba, I want to jump his bones, he fine, you know? And so I want to see how they work through that. I think she's the type of person who the attraction can grow on, but she definitely vocalized it that ain't her type. He ain't the right color, okay? And so I think he's super into her. I think in the look department, they're equally yoked. You know, it's not like he's like super fine and she's hideous, or she's super gorgeous and he's hideous. Like, it's not given that. I think that they match, so we'll see about them. But so far, they might be the only couple I can see like lasting. Everybody else is already crumbling, and we haven't even made it to the altar yet. Like, I don't think anybody's even gonna make it to the altar, to be honest. I really don't. All of the couples are freaking mess. And this week, when the singles arrive, Jimmy sees Jessica and they're probably gonna have a conversation. Apparently, Chelsea's gonna be cussing out Jimmy because apparently she's gonna accuse him of having sex with Jessica. And like, girl, we is in for a ride and a surprise. So let me know who you guys are rooting for down below, if anybody. Let me know if you guys had the same reservations or thoughts about certain people the way that I did, or just what you're thinking in general, girl. And if you're excited for the next set of episodes that Netflix is gonna drop on us, probably like 12 a.m. tonight. So I love you all so much, and I'll definitely see you in the next one.